Welcome to the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulson here with Fred Smoot
Yes,
and
I am.
Santana Moss, who
Tana's yawning over.
I know Tana's a little tired today. Tana, tired or just because the day? This has been a long day today.
Yeah, it has.
Long day.
I like long days, man.
You're here.
About me, man. Once we get started, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll always. Weekend was okay.
Yeah, my weekend was great. First of all, we got a victory. I got to watch college football all Saturday.
Yeah.
Mississippi State won. So, hey.
Who'd they beat?
Arizona. You know, we beat the Pac-12. You know what I'm saying?
But Arizona's Arizona.
I'm just saying.
So
the
both of your
Pac-12
teams
is
played somebody in Arizona, Mississippi State and the Washington Commanders.
And that's what I'm telling you. And guess what?
I know.
Both times was won by Mississippi State players. Because
Wow.
Mississippi State beat Arizona and Mississippi State beat them too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about our game this
Mm-hmm.
weekend, or the Commanders game against the Arizona Cardinals. That's a really good intro there by you, Tana. A lot of fans at the stadium.
It
a lot
was
of energy.
awesome.
You were there. I was there. You were there.
Yeah.
It hasn't felt that way in a while.
In a long time, and just to see fans that haven't been there for a long time, it felt like a family reunion. That's when I pulled up into the parking lot, I love what I saw when they said "Welcome home," because that was more than just saying that to the Champ Baileys of the world and to the RG3s of the world. They were saying that to the fan base.
Yeah.
Welcome back home. It was a double entendre. I really liked it.
I don't know if that's what that
entendre.
means.
You don't?
Is that what,
That when you use one word, one sentence, and it means two different things that connect.
But I think like welcome home just means welcome home.
No, but they were saying welcome home to the fans.
And it was
And
welcome
to-
home to the fans and welcome
to the
home
football-
to the guys
the
who
old
played
football
here,
player.
who
Yeah.
who once
But
played
yeah,
here.
okay, that just means welcome home. Anyway, so Tana, what'd you think?
This jerk.
Yeah, I knew Fred tried to sneak in a big word in there to make himself sound smart, but I didn't want to get there, go that route. But no, I enjoyed it. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting the crowd to be there and ready and just ready to see some good football, and it was all that and a little bit more. What I appreciated more than anything that we didn't just go out and dominate.
That's true. You appreciate that.
I appreciate it
I do
because
too, yeah.
I appreciate it because we were sitting here the whole week talking about, and you know what I'm talking about. We can go back.
Joshua Dobbs.
Fred was talking about Joshua.
Wait,
Dobbs,
okay,
and
I wanted to just touch on this real quick because I know what you're going to say. Fred, what was your score prediction for this game?
I predicted 27 to
That is
19,
incorrect.
sir.
33-9
Yeah,
is what you
33-9.
predicted. 33-9.
And mine was 28-6.
28-6.
Yeah, mine was close though.
Yeah,
mine was close because I said
better than that.
Wait, think about it. The Antonio Gibson fumble, we left 7 on the board. With that 7 on there. So it's situations where it could have finagled and became 33-7.
Finagled to become 33.
And like they say, shit happens.
Yeah, it does. It always does. It always does. And that's what you got to wait for.
Nah, for real.
Yep.
No, but that's what I was saying though. Coming to the game, like I didn't want us to take, look at the situation and say, well, Dobbs there, this team hasn't changed. You can't set yourself up. And I feel Fred was setting us up for the banana tailpipe. But I'm glad the team went out there. Like I said before, defense played, man. They flew around. They kept them guys out of the end zone. And special teams. And offensively, what we've seen all this preseason, we were so high on it that they didn't come out that way. But they did enough to win the game.
Yeah.
So I feel great about that, just knowing that you don't want this team to just feel like it's a lopsided thing when it comes to just like, okay,
you can
we dominated the preseason.
Yeah.
We dominated a team that didn't stand a chance. We should be able to beat everybody like this in the league. No, it's not like that. Any given Sunday is going to be a way that, you can either lose the game or win the game. They saw that they played in a losing fashion offensively.
Yeah.
With 3 turnovers, that's a losing fashion.
Yeah.
But they found a way to win the game.
Why
That's
shouldn't
all
we
that
have been expecting that on offense, though? We're talking about a coordinator that's been here for 6 months. We're talking about a quarterback that was literally 1 game old.
Yeah.
Like, why would we think it's going to come out here and they're going to look like the greatest show on turf?
Well, I don't really.
Well, I think because you were
that
saying that it was, Fred.
Yeah,
I was trying to be. I was excited. Like when they give.
No, I'm with you. Like we're fans. Like we analyze the team, but we're here every day.
We're still fans.
We're fans, and so I understand. But it's also
I brought up a fun fact earlier that you felt like had no value to it.
To the conversation we were having, but it is a valuable fact.
All I'm saying is, since Sam Howell has been our quarterback, we have we haven't tasted losing. We're undefeated since the Harris group brought this. They haven't tasted defeat. Not even in preseason. Not any time. We're 5-0 with Sam, 4-0 with the new ownership. All I'm saying is, when it feel good, I spew it out there.
Yeah. It is good.
It is good.
I feel you. I don't get too far ahead of myself when it comes to stuff like that. Like I said before.
But that's what Fred's here for.
That's what
it's
Fred
to get far ahead.
Yeah. That's what we got Fred here for.
I know, to get us far ahead.
No, I'm here because y'all got y'all version. and I got the truth. Right? Like this the
You
way
ain't
it goes.
Preacher's son. Preacher's son.
And see, unlike y'all, I would not go and give myself paralysis with over-analysis. See, I won't do that. Like, that's more of y'all thing, where you like to turn the page and look so deep. You like to be all in it. No, we can't do this against this team because this team is rock solid against the run. Hey, no, I won't do that with myself. At the end of the day, I look at the eye test, and the eye test told me this offense is going to be, one, different than last year.
Okay.
Very much suits Sam Howell. But it also, we know for a fact, it's going to take, defense is always in front of offense at the beginning of the season.
I feel you.
So we got to be patient with them, and I think they can grow into my 33-7.
9, I think so too. I'm hoping that they can, because I think when you look at the skill position players, I think there's a lot of good things to take away from this. You know, there was a lot of really exciting things they did offensively in terms of throwing the football. Like, you know, he wasn't the most efficient, a lot of drops in there, but I think when you look at his adjusted completion percentage, it's right in that 75 spot, which is pretty good. You know, Terry had a solid game, Jihad had a solid game. Logan looked a little bit rusty.
Yeah,
but I think,
you got to expect it.
But he's been hurt, so I'm totally with that.
I was almost cringing at times watching Terry. Tip my hat off to that kid, man.
Yeah, he's hurting a little bit.
Good at, and I've been in those shoes. I played with pulled hamstrings, pulled adductors. You know what I mean? Knee fluid in it.
That toe is a whole different animal.
And I played with a turf toe in high school, so and it's a different level. But I remember it took me a couple of weeks to get used to it. Then I found a way to I found how I can kind of actually run on the side of my foot. And I'm already, I'm already slightly bowed anyway, so it was kind of it benefited me. But I saw Terry. I mean, I paid close attention to him, man, and he just toughed it out, bro.
But he's such a good dude that the football guys shined on him. Y'all looked at that rain as a bad thing. It softened the turf for him. So now he could come out of cuts and the ground would give where it wasn't gonna give 2 hours before that. So at the end of the day, sometimes things ain't as bad as you think they are.
More importantly, just having Terry in the field takes a lot of attention off of Jahan.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I think going forward, it was something that I learned in college my senior year. I twisted my ankle first game of the season. And look, I'm a Heisman hopeful. I'm a first round potential. So I had all this going for me. And I told the coaches, hey, I'm gonna just sit out until might just pack it up, for a year. And Bush Davis told the staff, like, if he can walk, he can play.
He can play.
And I felt like
he said that?
Yeah, he said it. And it bothered me being a young 20-year-old, didn't know what he meant by that. And then when I finally sat down and talked to him, he said, look, if you sit down, it changes what we can do offensively, because now Reggie's is the guy they can just double. And we need both of you guys, because if they doubling you and they think you finna be the guy who we know we finna get the ball to from what we showed last year, now Reggie can get off. And so I had to really kind of open my eyes and say, oh, this is what being a team player is about now. So I tapped into that, and come 4 or 5 weeks later, Superman's ready to shine again. So I look at Terry as having that role right now. He's in a situation where he can easily say, man, I just got paid. I'm gonna sit it out. We watched plenty of guys that had that played with us that didn't.
I call it fat rat's disease.
They won't play with a toenail, hurting them. You know what I mean? So I appreciate Terry for that, and there's only good things gonna come out of that for him. All
right, our next segment we're gonna have much more deeper kind of analysis, but real quick before we get to that, in terms of the guys that came back, kind of the celebrities, the former alums, who were you guys most excited to see?
Well, first of all, you always gotta love to see KD. Come back. I had never met Embiid, so it was good to see Embiid. Champ Bailey.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah, for just a hot second.
How do you? I mean, on game day, you must be like the mayor.
Listen, no, I go back and forth. I be running out
likes
through.
He walks a lot.
Man, listen, I probably walked like 5 miles Sunday. Just all the stuff I had to do. And Champ Bailey, my old running mate, always good to see him. Luckily, we still talk all the time. So, but good to see him back here. This was his first time leaving since we traded him back. Bobby 3 Sticks, y'all guy was in here telling something. He threw you passes, right? Was you happy to see him?
I didn't get to talk to him because I was like running around doing stuff. But yeah, it was great. I mean, like, he had his time here was very unusual and unique. But I will say it means something to a player when you get that welcome back from the stadium.
It's everything.
And I was really
First
happy to see that.
Regardless of what RG did after that 2012 season, he's a god here. So I mean, those fans still love him. I remember when I had that little thing on with whose show that was I was on with 106.7, and I spoke out about I was mad that he
Was it Dukes? Was it Chad?
Yeah,
Dukes?
it was Dukes. There you go, Chad. Chad, my guy too, man. I love Chad. I'm hurt that he doesn't have his show no more, but we know why that went out. But no, honestly though, I spoke about the coaching staff that I feel like was here to really, make RG the RG he was in 2012. It got interpreted, and I guess you can say it was a little static. It was static. I call it static. You know what I mean? But RG, we saw each other like the same year at a signing, and we dapped each other. Cause he know me, man. I'm not. Look, I'm one of the guys that really gonna talk about somebody and not be able to stand up there and tell you what I'm talking about. Especially, you know what I mean. But I was happy that he understood. Like, look here, bro. I ain't throwing no shade at you. You know what you meant to this city. You know what you meant to that team, and he knew. When I got kicked out of the game in Giant Stadium because of him and his touchdown in 2014.
That's right.
I got your back. You know what I mean? I want you to succeed. I know what you can do. And the reason why I was so fired up, I want to tell a little bit about that story.
Open up. This is a safe space right here.
So check it. People was wondering why, Tanner, what made you go to them extremes and get yourself kicked out the game? So prior to the game even started, you know how you stay on the sideline and the refs come by and tell you get behind the line?
Yeah.
So come on, I've been playing this game for 14 years. Yeah. This seemed like the guy came after me. Everybody standing up. He just packed me on my chest, get back, 89. So I'm like, what the hell I'm doing wrong? So I'm like, all right, buddy, I got back, came back again, get back, 89. I'll leave it alone. I just talked to RG before the game, like, bro, if you don't see anything, take off and run.
Yeah.
That's what you have. That's your advantage. And he did just that.
Yeah.
And so when I saw him kind of take a little bit of,
your advice,
I guess, my advice, because at the time he wasn't doing a lot of that year. He wasn't trying to run that much.
He wanted to be a pocket passer.
And when I saw him do it, I was so amped. Like, man, he took, what I was trying to tell him and did it. And I thought he scored. When everything slowed down, they showed, I see why they called it what they called it. Yeah. So I was just fired up. I went out there. Same rough.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's what happened. I got in his face.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, just like anybody else, I ain't petty.
Yeah.
But
that was petty.
Don't forget. You think I'm going to forget that you just went at me a couple of times? So I went in his face like, man, y'all are tripping. That's some BS. You know how when you say some BS, refs look at you like, oh, here go my time to get my TV time. So it got kind of in a little heated discussion, and he ended up kicking me out of the game. But I was happy for RG. That's why I got that fired up and got on the field and put myself in that situation. So it was great to see him, man. It was great to talk to him.
So you weren't in on the play, though?
One in on the play.
You came from the side.
I came from the side. No, remember, we was going into halftime. Remember, if he didn't score, they called it not a touchdown, a touchback. Yeah. And then it was halftime immediately right after that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I didn't know you had so many Robert Griffin III stories. But let's talk about the game, right? So, and our producers come up with a really fun game. Jason's come up with a fun game. It's called Overreaction Theater, right? So we're going to give you a topic. I'm going to give you a topic, and you're going to say, am I chill like Santana, like this isn't a big deal? You know how Tana is, he's always kind of like, I'm chilling, whatever it is. Or are we fired up like Fred, like this is a huge deal, we're on fire, the house is burning down type of thing?
And that's why I call it paralysis by over-analysis, right? That's the name of this segment. I'm renaming it.
You renaming it? Not an overreaction theater. All right, so let's talk about the first one. Sam Howell and EB. Are we chill like Santana, or are we fired up like Fred? And I can start if you guys want.
You start.
So what I'm going to say is I think Sam played okay. And I think it's kind of how do you expect a rookie quarterback to play.
You just said it. Rookie quarterback. People want to treat him like he's been in the league 40 years.
Yeah.
That game was his second start ever.
And I think you saw a really talented young football player with good athleticism and good mobility, not like Lamar mobility, but something like Patrick Mahomes where he can extend plays, especially in the red zone. Like that second, the one that he rushed in, that's completely covered up in the back end. Love that. Love that he's got that ability. The quick release, quick release in tight pockets. I loved all that stuff. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. EB, I thought, called a pretty good game. I love my favorite thing about the game, and I forgot to mention this earlier when we were doing the show. My favorite thing about this game was that after the forced fumble, there's 55 seconds left, and we're going to score points. Like, how easy would it have been for EB to be like, we're gonna run the ball 3 times to get out of here?
That ain't him.
That's not him. And I love that. That mentality, we're going to score, is something that's extremely. It's a powerful thing for a team. It builds confidence in the team. I think also for EB, understanding that in the second half of that game, right, like things had shifted. The defense was playing better.
The passing was not working.
It wasn't even that. Like, we could put the game in a slower gear because of what the defense was doing. And being aware of that, I thought was really good. So I think overall, like, I'm probably chill like Santana in the sense that like people are like, oh, Sam Howell, is he terrible? EB's first time play caller. I'm not worried about it. I think as they get more reps, as they get more experience, they're going to get better. And so that's how I feel about it.
I am fired up about it because I understand the timing of everything. This is just the beginning of this story. We are on chapter 1. At the end of the day, they only going to get better. So if you telling me that's pretty much the worst they going to play, the worst he going to call it, we got good times ahead of us.
But you don't think it's a big. What I'm saying is you don't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Right.
I think we got what we is. Like I said, the coach, he has to figure out and feel everything out from Sam's play, from the running backs play.
And like what works for the team. That's right.
What works and what needs to be done. So I'm excited. If that's where you're going to start it, I can't wait to see where we finish at.
And to that point, like think about how many offenses we were on, Tana, or that you've been on. You've been on like a million offenses, but like how they changed from week 1 to week 5, and then from week 5 to week 10. And so like this is just like the first data point of kind of saying who this team really is. So I think that's a great point.
That's why I'm laid back about the whole situation. I think, man, when you look at the body of work for that one game, it was great to see, like kind of like what you say, break the ice a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you saw the young quarterback put in circumstances or put in situations where he could have either just blew it and say, you know what, I'm too young for this, I'm not ready. Let me go ahead and now try to make things happen. He didn't. Every time he made a mistake, he came back the same guy.
Sure.
You didn't see a difference. You didn't see him go up or down. He was just always like this. So when I saw that and when I see that, that allows me to know that this is who he is. This is who he is. We saw him like that when he made great plays, and we saw him like that when he made bad ones. That's the way he's going to play because he understands it's not about me getting up or down or trying to force the issue. I got to play within the scheme, play within what I see, and if the opportunity's there for me to take advantage of it, I'm pretty sure he will next time. When you watch, one thing about watching film, you go back and say, damn, I should have just ran.
Yeah.
I didn't have to throw that ball. I didn't have to do this.
But you don't know until you know.
You don't know until you know. So he's going to get a feel of how things are going on around him, even more about watching himself on tape in those situations. And I think that's why I'm so relaxed about it, because I just feel like, together, those two are going to grow to be able to put out, good stuff.
And they're in the honeymoon stage right now. When you first get married, everything good, but when reality hits is now what do we do with the everyday? Now that we back off vacation, now the everyday life is here, and that's what they going through. They going through that learning curve every relationship goes through.
Yeah, and I think like that's a really good point, Ten, about like maybe a discussion for another time, but how film like totally changes your perspective and how him getting actual game reps that are filmed,
that film that he
are
can
so important for his development. So I think we're all kind of in agreement. I think we're like I'm like you. I'm excited for the future. But in terms of our reacting to this game, I think it's kind of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Like, it was what it was supposed to be.
And there was some good stuff. There was some bad stuff. But I thought the good stuff was really good and showed an area that you saw a path of development, which is exciting. The next one I think we're all going to be in agreement on as well, but it's turnovers.
Yeah.
And turnovers to me, like, you can't turn the football over. But I think they come because the quarterback's a young football player. Kind of like what we were talking about before, like, because I'm not worried about Sam and the direction this offense is going, I'm less worried about the turnovers. Like, you can't, I'm not saying the turnovers are okay, but I understand why they happen. You get a guy on the sack fumble who's trying to run away, gets the ball punched out. You get a guy who's waiting on a throw. The clock's got to go off your head. Just check the ball down. Check the ball down, right? Like, those are things that come with the film, right? The time under task, developing that relationship with EB. So the turnovers themselves are bad because, like Tana says, the key to the game every week is don't turn the football over, right? But
win that battle.
Ultimately, like, it's part of his at least that's how I look at it.
Here go the thing all us three of us got in common, and most of the world does. We're raising kids. And one thing you know about your baby, you feed them food, but guess what? You feed them a little too much, they'll throw up. That's part of it. And we have to clean it up. And that's what we're watching. We're watching a baby young quarterback go through his birthing pains right now, go through his situation, go through his ups and downs. But that's how we learn from human beings. We learn from trial and error. We learn from our mistakes. You don't learn from the good thing. That's why I like what you said earlier. I'm glad we didn't blow them out. Because then Sam wouldn't have learned nothing. So now, and this is what I tell people. Week 1, Sam Howell will not even look close to week 11 Sam Howell. He's going to get better and better week in and week out. But here go the bad part. He's going to have to make mistakes to get better.
And that's the thing about it too. As long as the mistake's not detrimental to the team, like I said before, like if you can make a mistake and just recover from that by going, resetting, get to the sideline, be coached up, and come back out there and then show, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Like he displayed that, and that's why we talking about turnovers now. Like sitting in the game and watching it, you kind of like, damn, that was the wrong time for that.
Yeah.
Or, man, that's what happened when you're young. But like I said, the way he responded showed me like,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, no.
Look what we got. You know what I mean? We got a guy that just went out there and did. Like I've been there where I had a guy or two that played the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And when they mess up, you know it. Because now everything is sped up. You out there in the game like, bro,
they're emotional.
Calm the hell down. I'm wide open. Like you can throw me the ball still. And more than anything, I saw him from that first quarter. There were shots that I thought he should have took that he didn't. So that let me know that he's already processing that and saying, hey, I know my arm is strong. I got this guy on this wheel route right here. Maybe I should throw it, but I see that backside safety creeping over there. So guess what? I'm going to throw it to this guy because I know Jahan just beat his guy, so I could get the easy first down instead of going for that touchdown. He's already showing us when you watch it that he's not taking these risky throws like Josh Allen type, just winging it up there because you see somebody flash. No, I'm going to take the safe route. So that's what gives me that confidence. In them turnovers, it comes with the game. It comes with the process. He have to go through them just to understand them a little more. But like I said, when you can do that and still win,
when you can cage in greatness, like usually when you gift it, it's a gift and a curse. Yeah. Like you talked about Josh Allen, he only doing it because he can. He literally cocked the ball from the 15 and dropped it to the other 10. That's 75 legit yards. The ball is in the air. He's only doing that because he's gifted enough to do it. The great player know how to
like Patrick Mahomes.
He know how to calm that greatness down.
He's like hyper talented, but like he knows like I can check the ball down. I can run out of bounds. I can do all this different stuff. So I do think there is something there. The one that I find of the turnovers that I find a little concerning is the Gibson one in the red zone. And that's just, again, and I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. But because he has a little bit of a precedent.
I would say it's been in the past.
I just hope it don't get to him.
I hope so too.
We have the confidence that he can overcome it, but I just don't want, I know how it is as a player once you start going through something, especially if you start your season off that way. You start thinking like, oh, maybe this is me this year again.
I see a common denominator in his fumbling. It's always when he's trying to get extra yards.
And he's kind of falling. It's when he's falling down.
I was going to say he was falling at that moment. The guy just came from the backside.
He's never when he's on the ground. It's when he's mid-air. He's always diving and extending. And that's when the ball gets knocked out. Like instead of saying, all right, 3 yards is all I can get, on the ground, let's live to play another day.
As a ball carrier, I think what he needs to do now, and who knows, man? I mean, he knows. He the one that's going through it.
And it was good. And it was a good defensive play too.
Great defensive play because he didn't expect that guy to hit it in. But that tells me as a ball carrier, what I would tell myself, that was me in his shoes. Don't relax. Even when I'm going to the ground, make sure overemphasize protecting that ball. So I might fall different. I might hurt myself a little more. And I might
stop myself from getting as many yards.
But when you falling and you're trying to, I'm relaxing now, I'm going to go down. I'm going to put his arm down. Boom, somebody come from behind because people watched film. They know what what he struggled with, so they're gonna be trying to
punch at the ball
each and every week. You know what I mean?
They're gonna tackle the ball with him like a defensive coordinator. If we're finna play him, Antonio Gibson, they're gonna tell us as corners, don't worry about tackling his thighs, don't worry about tackling his shoulders. Go tackle the football because he will stop.
Because they know it's here.
Yeah, because it's mental now.
I went through a little phase like that where I was fumbling a little bit, and I had someone come up and tell me, it's like, it's not about getting the most yards you possibly can every single play. Because I was a big guy, right? I would just kind of rumble and bumble, and people would, and just make a big pile. And someone was like, it's about getting as many yards as you can while protecting the football at 100%. And as you go longer to the down, what you'll find is dudes do exactly what you're saying. Someone will be on your legs, you'll be running, and all of a sudden you just feel like someone's jumping on your arm.
Just the arm.
And I don't care how strong you are, you can't hold that sucker there. So I think all of those points are valid. Developing some maturity, but we all believe in him. We think he's a good football player. Hopefully he can get it fixed up. All right, now we're going to talk about someone that Fred loves to talk about probably more than anybody on the team. It's Tress and then Tana Jamison Crowder. How do we feel about that? Are we chill like Santana, or are we fired up like Fred? Big field position swings and nice 10-yard punt return.
Well, I'm fired up.
Yeah, boy. You hear that? I can hear it in his voice. I can hear it in his voice
right now. Firewood, get ready.
I'm fired up for Tress, just seeing Tress come out here every year, man. And it just seemed like he just doesn't miss a beat, man. The way he was putting our punt team in perfect, situations to go out there and attack that guy, that punt returner, it was great seeing that. I can go on about Tress a long time, but I don't want to. Crowder, on the other hand,
okay, tell me about
love
it.
seeing Crowder back in the building. Love seeing that we got another. It's always great to see a guy leave, go get his money, and come back. Towards the end of his career, I know Crowder have kind of like bounced around to a couple of teams the last few years, but he still can return punts. And you hear me harp about punt returning and how you have to be special to be back there. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was older or in those later years, I hated being back there, but they put me back there. I don't think I was special then. But when you can do it, you can do it. So they believe in Crowder. I believe in Crowder. Man, Crowder's making at least 10 yards out of nothing. You know what I mean? And so when I see that, you have a home. And we've been needing a guy that's positioned. I'm pretty sure we have some young guys that probably will be watching him, developing and stuff like that. But I'm fired up, man. At least you can say special team-wise, right now, they in real form, you know.
Special teams looking great right now.
Real good.
And listen, what haven't I already said about the golden toe from Kokomo?
Yeah, it's your favorite guy to talk
Listen
about.
to me. Now, we already know about his pun.
You gave him a Pro Bowl vote in the pre. You said most valuable player. Yeah, you were in on it.
And not only was he punting, let's just move that to the side because he is the punt guy. All right, now, the one that iced the game at the end, he set him down on the one. The guy gets no yards. They are in sync. Him and Jeremy Reeves are tied to the hip. Yeah. But his best play of the game was catching field goals. What he's doing with these field goals is unbelievable. He's catching bad hikes, snaps, not only getting it up, setting it down, and getting the lines out the way. He is doing a great job doing it. So, Tress Way, it's the small things on a team that make you a good team. If you take Tress Way out of that game, we don't win it.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. Like, and people sleep on Tress Way because he's a punter, but he's like one of those guys that's like good at everything. Like ping pong, great. Golf, great. You know, like
he's an athlete that just happened to be a punter, not a punter that wants to be an athlete.
And so you see with that crazy hand-eye coordination. Like I don't know if you ever, like one day, I don't know if I told you this story. I was like the backup holder for one game. So like, Logan, get out there and catch some snaps. And I was like, no, I don't want to do this because it is you're in the most awkward position to catch a ball
with your knee up,
and then like if that ball had not been right on my hands, there's no way I could have caught it. So for him to like be scooping it up like a shortstop,
putting it down,
oh my gosh, it was incredible.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's incredible. All right,
vote for Tress Way.
Yeah, vote for Tress Way.
I'm just saying Tress Way for me.
And Jameson, you've read about Jameson?
I love what Crowder's doing because you know how I've been feeling about this punt return situation. I believe you need a true threat back there because we see what happens in the New York Jet game when you got a threat back there that can ice you a game.
How about that guy?
Get you some yards, man. Like you don't know what 10 yards a punt return does. That's huge. So for Crowder to be back there, that's huge for the team.
Huge. I mean, it goes up. I think it's like 10%.
That you get a chance to score.
Yeah, every 10 yards. It's a really big deal. All right, let's talk about the O-line struggles. Are we fired up? Are we chill? How do we feel about it? I mean, I can go first if you guys want.
Well, listen, I don't feel either way about it because I know they need time to jail. I know we need to be patient. These guys, Nick Gates is new. Sam Cosmi is playing guard. Sadiq Charles is getting his first shot. Wiley just made it here 3 days ago. Charles Leno is the only mainstay. So at the end of the day, this boy band that we put together hasn't rehearsed and played enough gigs together. So I'm going to give them time and I'm going to be patient with them. I can say this. They nasty. Nick Gates, filthy nasty. Sadiq Charles, I seen him kick a couple people out the club during the game. Like, they have what it takes. They just need to learn how to protect each other.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm in between.
Go ahead. I want to hear. I'll be here.
Yeah, I'm not fired up, but I'm not chilled about them. I feel like it's a must that those guys be superb. You know what I mean? Those guys have to be like the best on the offense for our offense to even move. Yeah. But and I see promise. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to say that those guys were out there and it was a disaster. No. I actually saw a pocket. And saw our quarterback having time to do things. You know, I think a couple of times he got himself sacked. You know, so when I see that, and let's be honest, we sat there and talked about this Arizona defense is almost if they didn't have anybody. When I watched that game,
some players, they
was flying around on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they were thumping.
Casimir White was out there trying to make sure they remember his name.
So, dude, how about that hit out of bounds? That was crazy.
No, he took out. Not only did he take Sam Howell out, he took the referee out and the coach too.
So I'm not, I'm in. Like I said, I'm in between. I'm almost on a fired up side because I like what I see. Yeah. But they hadn't played together enough for me to say that, give them those props right now. But as long as you protecting that guy, Sam, I am, and we can be the offense that I know we can potentially be with with our skill guys and our run game. We haven't really seen the run game, get active yet, but I see a lot of promise in our offensive line, and I'm not just pulling that leg. I'm in between.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm chill about them because you can never be too chill about that. Those 5 guys. But like I say, I see the promise. That's why I'm in between.
Yeah. So what I would say is I think they played pretty good. They didn't play great, but they played pretty solid. And so I think when let's just take the 6 sacks for an example, right? One was given up by a tight end. One was an RPO that Sam didn't throw and he tried to scramble. So that's 2 right there.
Yeah.
There was another one. Oh gosh, I got to do these off memory. Sadiq Charles gets tripped by the running back, which isn't great, but I'm not going to knock Sadiq for that.
Yeah.
There was a mental mistake by Gates where he doesn't push through on a slide. That's again kind of to your point. We're not working together. Yeah. And then there was the Wiley kind of sack fumble, which again I think that was the one legitimate sack was that one. And when you look at the other downs, there was 46 dropbacks in this game. The pockets are immaculate. Yeah. Sam had 3.2 seconds to throw the football, which is very long. Which is very long. And so for this group of guys that maybe isn't the most heralded or they're working together for the first time, I think the combinations to the second level were great now. They can get a little stickier. I'm not saying that. They can improve. But I think when you look at the down to down, when you watch the All-22, I was just like, man, this is a pretty solid performance by this group. So I think when I read this, O-line struggles. I think fans are up in arms about the O-line. And I'm like, hey, man, it wasn't that bad. And there was one where Sam's holding the ball.
Yeah, too long.
Way too long. I think there was 2 of those, right? So
which he'll develop that.
Yeah, and that's again. So it kind of goes in line with that. I think that group is playing much better than I expected them to. The thing that I'm a little like about is how do they play against a better team? Not that Arizona was bad. Yeah. But as they play against better defenses,
the lucky thing they practice against a dominant.
That is a great point.
So at the end of the day, I'm not worried. Like they're gonna see a Montez sweat like the end. They see it every day. Yeah. Like they're gonna see a tackle like John Allen and Payne. They see it every day. So I think they're going to get better once they learn how to watch out for each other. I'm telling you, the most dangerous offensive lines, like the Kansas City offensive line with Will Shield, and I played against some very good offensive linemen, and they just had each other back to the point.
They just know each other really well.
And they know how to play off each other, so that's why I'm willing to get this group time.
Yeah, and also, like, I think back to that 2012 offensive line, and there wasn't, like, a bunch of killers on that group. You know what I mean? There was, like, Corey Lichtensteiger, Tyler Columbus, Chris Chester. Who was the center?
You did have Trent Williams.
Montgomery, and then Trent Williams, right? Yeah. But like those other 4 dudes were guys that were having a hard time getting jobs for a while. Yeah. And they came together and they were boys. Yeah. And they took care of each other. And they were in sync. And they played way better. And they're like some of the best dudes I've ever played with, like in terms of just quality people. Yeah. But they were also kind of nasty and gritty and tough, and they like to finish. And I think this group has shades of that. So I think they're just going to...
Offensive line has to be a boy band. No, I'm serious. And I don't care if it's NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. I don't know. Who you have in that battle?
I don't even know. Like in a fight or like in a singing contest?
In a sing-off.
Oh, Boys to Men. Boys to Men.
No, that's where them groups came from. They came from Boys to Men. As far as how they was put together. I think I was more of an NSYNC guy, but I think Backstreet Boys sold more albums.
I think my wife was a big NSYNC guy.
112? I love Jodeci and 112, but when you say boy band,
you don't think
I don't think of Boys to Men as a boy band. I think of them just as a group.
No. But I guess they are a boy band, though.
They are a boy band.
All right, so last one, and I think this is going to be the easiest one of the day. Defense.
Number dogs. Number dogs.
I kind of want to just stand up on my chair and just do a little dance because that group played great.
They gave up no touchdowns. Winning football. They got out to the quarterback, winning football. They was step for step with those wide receivers, winning footballs. Yeah. And people like to talk about what the linebackers don't do. I thought Jamie Davis had a day out there. I quietly had a day out there. So the defense, kudos. But guess what? I expect more.
Yeah.
Oh, because I got them set so high. Yeah. I expect more. I expect for you to dominate. Yeah. I don't expect for you to keep us in a game. I expect for you to be the reason we win the game.
Yeah. No, I'm with that.
I'm fired up about them. I'm fired up for the simple fact that they dropped 3 picks.
Yeah.
3 interceptions in their hands. I mean, they played great. I mean, they really didn't. They held the whole team to 0 points, right? They didn't score no touchdowns, but like that. And just to come away and put our offense in a situation, I remember we were sitting in Sweden, we were saying to ourselves, I said, right here, the defense need a turnover. Yeah. And it was like 3 plays later,
turnover.
Sweat had that turnover. So I feel like they gave us a perfect opportunity to go out there and take over the game.
Yeah.
But they had us in the game the whole while. You know, when we was just shooting ourselves in the foot time and time again, but still showing everybody that we have a team. We have a unit on both sides, in all three phases actually. But I'm fired up just knowing that we know where they can be at. We know they can be top 5.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to kind of like just take it over this year. I
just take it over.
want them to show us that they can be, and I hate to say this because I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way. When you watch that Cowboy team play on Sunday Night Football,
Ooh, boy.
look, let's just forget about the star and the blue and all that.
Hate it
and
all.
think back
throw
to
up.
and think back to who that reminds you of.
Dog.
That reminded me of
Not them Ravens.
in
Don't
Seattle.
you say that.
Seattle.
All right.
They looked
were-
just like them boys fly around, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, same coach.
No, same defensive
Same
coordinator.
defensive coordinator coaching them.
defensive coordinator.
So I hate to say it, and not on this part, I don't want to be saying that, but the Cowboys showing us, and not just because it's the Cowboys, and I know most people who listen to this part probably don't want to hear that name.
They're fast defense.
But they flying around because they know they can.
Yep.
We have that same kind of defense.
Yep.
We got guys up front that's going to set everything up for us in the back end. When we get our hands on that ball, we got to be taking it to the house.
Yep.
We got to be going the other way. So that's what I'm fired out
Well,
about.
you know, and you bring that up, and the one difference between the defense, because I think the talent levels are right there together.
Yeah.
I think one coordinator believes in +1, +2 when it comes to blitzing, and the other one, like, I got 4 up there I can beat you with. So it's different artistic styles and philosophies, but the talent levels are the same. But I want to see them take over games.
Yeah, I think that's how I feel too. And another guy, we talked about the front. I mean, the depth of the front was great. Even like, Abdul Anderson, great game.
Yeah, just
James
out of
Smith
nowhere.
Williams, great game.
Ridgeway.
Casey Tuhill, Ridgeway. All those guys played high quality football for us, right? Obviously, Sweat.
James Smith hyphen.
Sweat getting the sack. Great job. And our guy, Cameron Curl, bro.
Has he ever missed a tackle?
That dude was an animal.
He was on one.
Yeah. Animal. I think he had 10 tackles, almost an interception, right? He was fitting up on guards. Like, he was in the box in the Cinco
He could
front.
be one of the best open field tackling DBs I think I've ever seen.
He's great, man.
Because, he knows when to tackle and when to hit. People don't know that they are two different things.
Yeah.
Like, tackling is getting people to the ground, no matter what. Hitting is pounding them.
Yeah.
It's totally different. He knows when and where to do what.
Even that tackle that he kind of missed in the game where it's like the running lane's as big as this room.
Yeah.
And he gets the guy, he slows him down enough, is able to get back up and get him on the ground. I thought, man, like 9 out of 10 dudes just totally whiff that.
No.
And that's running for 20 yards.
Like, what's crazy about it? I remember after the first year he had, and you was like, damn, he's a young guy. He played that well. And you was almost anticipating one of those sophomore slumps. Like, you almost anticipated, like,
was it a fluke?
Oh, he's not going to play that well. And then he showed you, like, I might not have the picks, but I'm solid.
This is who I am.
And then, like, now, and fast forward all the way to now, it's just like he knows he that guy.
Yeah.
He know. I mean, the confidence. I can see the swagger on the field. Like, he was making plays that he was almost like looking at them like, man, y'all trying me. You know what I mean? You coming over here with that? You know. So I'm with you with that, man. Cam Curl, he's right now the Ed Reed or the Sean Taylor of that secondary.
He's like even different than them, though. You know, he's just a different.
Yeah, he's a different style. But I'm just talking about as far as that
like
leader,
impact,
that presence. You know, like when you played against those guys, S-Dot, Ed Reed, you automatically base your offense on
where are they,
making sure that we not going in this guy's direction.
Brian Dawkins. He played like Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, and so I mean, again, like we're gonna have a preview pod coming up in a couple of days. We're gonna talk about like that role against Denver. But yeah, man, I'm excited for that defense. That's gonna be a good matchup in that game. All right, let's talk about our Command Center pod. What is this? Fantasy football?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Fred,
I won.
Fred's the coach. Jason's the manager.
Yes.
Jason,
he's
what's
the
up?
GM.
GM. He drafted the team. He manages the team. Fred just is Coach Prime with that ball cap.
He goes to the grocery store and pick the groceries. I cooked them.
So you heard how Fred, I won. When he didn't think he was gonna tell all the juice.
Yeah. Tell the truth.
So you beat the intern Caroline.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So Caroline was going to win, and then the Giants came out and did what they did. Let's talk about that real quick.
I enjoy watching the Giants' demise.
I
enjoy it.
That was gross, man.
I have I don't, you know how you feel sorry for people sometimes?
You don't feel sorry for them? Not even a little bit?
First of all,
the Giants always beat us.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I don't feel anything. And then for them to get beat on national TV like a draw.
Bad, dude.
Like,
Bad
and
loss.
you just gave Daniel Jones How much money?
Yeah.
147.
But you know what
million
made me? You know what made me more disgusted about that? Just knowing that, and the Giants is one of those teams, man. Like they got a boring style of playing. No matter who's coaching that team, it seems I think it's the stadium. I think it's the blue lights in the stadium.
It's something about it.
Because the games be boring when you're watching on TV.
Yeah.
But like as you said, when they play us, they kicked our behind so much to the point to where we got to give them their respect.
Yeah.
But you know, watching that game, I was just sitting there saying to myself, this is not the same team that we saw last year.
Well, it is the same team. They creeped by last year.
But my thing was, Daniel Jones didn't even look like the guy they just paid all that money to. You know what I'm saying?
I also think
I feel like he played
that D-line made Daniel
much more
Jones
efficient last year.
Well, they wanted to sorry to cut you off, Tanner, but I think like one of the things about the Giants is they want to play like a one-score game the whole time.
Yeah.
And the second that game
Gets out of hand
deviates from that at all,
Yeah.
they got nothing for you, man. And so like block field goal for a touchdown. Next
Defensive
possession,
touchdown.
interception for a touchdown.
It's over.
14-0, that game just go, you might as well shut the TV off because they are not built.
But
their most explosive players are running back.
And
you know
I don't
what
believe
Like,
in quarterbacks with regular names. Daniel Jones. If I tell you, me and Daniel Jones coming to play football, no. Joe Montana. That sounds like a name. Patrick Mahomes.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady. That's a pretty normal name.
No, but Tom Brady, he's abnormal.
He's abnormal.
He's the GOAT of the GOATs. So all I'm saying is, athletes. All I'm saying is usually athletes as a whole, we don't come with, when I meet a regular name athlete, I look at them twice like, Jesse Smith won't be here long. Like sometimes you know it. When a guy introduces himself, he be like, yeah, I'm George Brown. I be like, yeah, George, you got 30 days before we trade you. Think about Santana Moss.
Hey, that's a good
Football
name. That's a great name.
Logan Paulson. I ain't met a Logan Paulson till I met you. All I'm saying is, usually the name.
You ain't met a Santana Moss.
Thank you. Robert Griffin III. I hadn't met an RG3 today. Football players and athletes usually have these names that stick out. But then I say, no, Daniel Jones is my quarterback.
My guy. Dude, Tanner, your sigh right there when he started talking is maybe my favorite moment on this podcast so far.
Bro.
So
I knew it was
fun.
coming, bro.
I know.
I knew it was coming.
Daniel Jones.
Fred's playing the hits. Fred will play that. He'll play that. He'll do that again. If you listen to this podcast slot, that'll come up again. Yeah. We'll talk about Daniel Jones' name again. All right. So, you won by some type of miracle freak luck that the Giants were the worst team in football.
I just got good energy.
All right. Fletch, Dallas's D, beat Santana.
Yeah.
Right? Am I reading that correctly? With Tyreek Hill, which is crazy.
He had 1,000 points.
How about that Miami offense,
with Tyreek Hill and the Jets D.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I did make a note of that.
But Mark Andrews didn't play for me, and not only Mark.
Yeah, you did. What were you doing?
So Thursday, here I am. I'm acting like a real GM/coach. I'm riding, going to this event,
drinking green
fan dude event, and I'm listening to the radio, sports talk radio.
They're like, he's gonna play.
They down the street around the corner.
Yeah.
It was like Mark Andrews looked well in practice today. He was hopping around, so he will be suiting up Sunday.
And you were like, check.
He's on my list. And I got him as I had two tight ends. I had Logan Thomas or him. So,
Well,
so
he was going to get the same.
Well, no, but I would have got a little more points.
I know. I think he had 4 catches, right? 4 catches.
So I had him and I think Jahan was another guy that didn't score high enough for me.
Yeah.
Far as
Tyreek.
no, my bad, I'm lying. Jahan had enough. He gave me something. My running back from Pittsburgh. Najee. And guess what? I was going to bench him and start someone else because I had a couple more running backs.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, it's Pittsburgh, man. That dude gonna run. I did not know San Fran was gonna come get me.
You should have known San Fran
gave it to those boys.
That was ridiculous,
dude.
Brock Purdy, I already was a believer,
but didn't really do that much.
But he got this gamer about him, and you ain't never met other Brock Purdy. That's a name. All I'm saying is. He's a dude's dude.
I'm with it, but what I'm saying is that, what's his name? Christian McCaffrey rushes for 152. Ayuk goes for 125.
Yes.
Brock Purdy throws.
He's quietly their best receiver.
I know, and then Brock Purdy throws for 200. So half of his throws go to him. George Kittle has 50 yards receiving. Golly, bro. Christian McCaffrey has another 50. God, I'm not saying I can play quarterback in the NFL, but if I wanted to play quarterback in the NFL, it'd be in that system.
One thing Brock Purdy do is that he doesn't put him in situations to lose the game.
Yeah.
And he makes the plays
Give
when
him their props.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
He got to throw the ball to those guys, and so he does just that. He puts the ball in the playmaker's hands and go out there and play mistake-free football. You play mistake-free football and you're a young guy, Yeah,
in his
especially in Kyle's offense.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kyle's offense is about get the ball out on time, period.
Yeah, but let's talk about Tyreek here real quick. That Dolphins offense, what they're doing with pre-snap motion is ridiculous.
That's why I don't understand why Dalvin Cook don't go home to Miami and play on that offense. Like, why you go to New York?
You know why he did.
I didn't get that, man.
Listen, they got a 4x4 100 team down there in Miami.
One of my boys, one of my best friends in the NFL was he's a coach there. Yeah. He was like, we value speed above any other quality. Yeah, because we believe our coaches are good enough to get you there, and you see that when you turn on.
That's Mike McDaniels. Yeah. Mike McDaniels wants you to fly.
When you turn on that, it's just like,
bro. I haven't played football over 10 years. I'm having nightmares about Tyreek Hill. Watching him do what he do to my counterparts, to my DBs. Yeah. I'm like, what would be my answer? Bail.
Did you see what they did though? They jet motioned him from the same side to a go on a full speed sprint. Like, what are you supposed to do?
I need to jump into a car. At the point they start motioning him, put it in drive and push the pedal. Right? That's what you got to do.
I mean, he's one of those guys, and he's a unicorn. You know, like when you look at receivers, you talk about guys like that's under what we talked about, under 5'10", like myself, Steve Smith. And it's one thing that when we was playing back in our time, they use us more as big receivers. Like, we're gonna leave you outside. You know, we're gonna play traditional wide receiver games with you guys. You're gonna run slants. You're gonna run all these. You know, they just threw us the ball on the outside. What I like about what teams like the Kyle, Shanahan's offense has allowed guys like Mike McDaniels and to take advantage of skillful guys like a Tyreek Hill. Let's move them around. Let's put them in situations where not only we getting a mismatch from, but we can actually use him in space and not just say that's not confine him to the sideline where he's a Z or X receiver and all you gotta do is play a coverage and then now he can't go anywhere.
Could take
you know what I mean?
Away.
So that's what I like about it, and he's just a lethal weapon with the ball in his hand. When you put the ball in this guy's hand, don't matter how you get it to him. He's putting up 6.
He's deadly. And the way he adjusts the ball in the air is pretty crazy. Another guy who adjusted the ball crazy in the air is how about that Garrett Wilson catch?
Oh, yeah.
How about that catch, bro?
He tried to one-hand it like this.
With the right hand across his body, defenders on his left side.
So y'all just ain't going to give Zach Wilson no love for that?
That was a terrible ball.
Yeah, it was, but guess what?
So the ball was supposed to be a back shoulder ball, and he threw it inside. So the guy had to reach over the damn DB.
To Zach Wilson.
He gave it up. He gave it to him. He gave him a chance.
That call was a run call. Yeah, now, it was a sight check. If you see it out there, you can lift up and throw it out there. Zach Wilson last year would have just handed that ball off into a 10-man front. Yeah. All right, he seen the one-on-one, and he said, you know what? I'm finna give my wide receiver. I got to give him props for that, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. I'm with it.
I mean, the guy was a freak, about making that play, so – I mean, the quarterback has to give you opportunity.
His name's regular too, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zach Wilson, what about Aaron Rodgers? Pretty normal name.
No, Aaron. When you say Aaron Rodgers, there ain't but one Aaron Rodgers. I had never met an Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I had never met an A.A. Run. I had never met one.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's like,
don't that sound like a football name?
No, it sounds like someone who is like your mailman.
It sounds like the dude that's leading you into a war is my war captain name, Sergeant Aaron Rodgers. That's what it sounds like.
When you say it like that, it's like it sounds.
No. Let's go regular name.
My tongue a little bit to see how I catch.
Now,
what are you doing?
I care less how it sounds. That ain't my theory when it comes to names. He's a hell of a quarterback. You know what I mean? So I let Fred deal with that.
First off, are the Jets totally for the rest of the year?
I'm not giving up on.
You know what though? I'm really and it is my old team. I'm hoping that the quarterback can really put up some, because honestly, man, you'd love to see this guy take a break and at least sit behind Aaron for 2 years. You know what I mean, or at least this year and learn a lot. But I can already see from just last year and watching him the other night, he learned something. He learned a lot. I can say the game it looked like it slowed down for him. You know, like he was making plays that at the time you'd be like, okay, you're supposed to make that happen because you're a quarterback and you're in the National Football League. But from compared to what you did last year and the stuff you was doing, the costly, throws and turnovers, he looked like he's matured a little bit.
You don't want to say I was right about Jordan Love, do you?
What was your thought on
I told you I thought Jordan Love was going to have a good year.
So he's played one game. So
and listen, you could tell who he been practicing behind. Because he throws the ball exactly like AA run. He like the quick release, the way he steps into stuff, the way he do. Like I picked up habits from my guys.
You stop that right now. Sam Darnold balled out first game of last year, and you saying Sam Darnold had a good year last year?
I don't think Sam Darnold is bad as people think.
I agree, but I'm saying like I need to see more than one game.
No, Jordan Love to me. And how many quarterbacks that had 3 years to ride the bench? Like he's had time to mature.
I think he's going to play well this year.
I'm not saying he's going to play bad, but I'm saying for Fred to come collect
the credit.
That's he wants me to pay up right now. Yeah, and we've only played one game.
He could be the best quarterback in the NFC North. In the NFC North, no, Jared Goff. I get at the Jared Goff, but
Kirk Cousins.
What you say? Kirk has won as many playoff games as a dead man. You heard me. A dead man. At the end of the day, no. Kirk ain't better than Jared Goff.
I mean,
he's not.
Statistically, he's better than him.
Nah, one guy been to a Super Bowl and the other guy hasn't.
Okay, one guy was... Okay, we don't have time for this. We're going to be here all day. We'll bring this up. Write this down, Jason. We'll talk about that next time, okay? All right, so that'll do it, right? Because we're at our time limit for today. Yeah. And Fred, you've got something to do, right? What do you got going on?
No, just life.
Just life. Life's happening. That's fair enough. All right, so make sure you tune in on Thursday. Is that right, Jason?
Yes.
On Friday
yes.
For our preview podcast of the Denver game. Thanks for joining us.